Hurricane Zeta, guys. We got kind of spared. It's not too terrible. I wish I could say the same about those 4 people down south. Louisiana, oh my goodness, 3 times in a row, that's just not right. So they're saying we got another couple hours of possibly dangerous wind in this rain. And then after that, it should start clearing up. We got lucky. So since this door is only gonna open partially, this top piece of siding is gonna stay here, so we're screwing in some nailers now. Whoops, stole my bit. All right, so we're putting a header in here to take up some load for our roof. We're having a big door right here, so there's not gonna be a stud in the middle. So we're gonna put some studs here now. I think they believe they call them jack studs to hold our header up. And then we'll get the studs, the header zipped in. Yeah, I put this on its end like that because lumber has a lot more load-bearing strength on edge like that as opposed to laying flat like this. And they're upright like that. That has the most load-bearing strength. And then on end like this. But when they're laid flat like this, they can get deflection sometimes. So we're just gonna beef this up a little bit. All right, so we've got those studs installed, holding up our header. What I think I'd like to do is run a trim piece flush with the bottom of this rake board all the way across to the other side. So we'll have some separation. We'll have a piece of siding up here, in this triangular shape, and then we'll have our trim piece and then our door. So I think the first thing to do in order to get this siding piece cut correctly is to install our trim piece, or at least get it mocked up to where it's gonna be. Then install the siding, and then we'll start building our door. Okay, so I've got my trim piece installed. Well, not installed, it's got 1 screw and a clamp holding it so far. I'm gonna screw this on because I'm gonna take it off at another time. I'm probably either gonna paint it or stain it along with the rest of the trim. But also it's flush with the door opening. So what I'm probably gonna do is take it off so I can slip some, like a piece of flashing to come out over here and overhang the door so that water doesn't leak in. So we're gonna make this removable. All right, so here I've cut 2 strips of siding to side our door opening. Just got it clamped on right now on this side, and we'll screw it on. All right, so I framed up the door real quick. I used 4 corner braces to give it some rigidity. It's a pretty basic door. And then we skinned it with our siding. But what I want to do now is I'm gonna flip it back over, and we're gonna find center, and then we're gonna trace out the opening for our chicken door. We're gonna have to frame it out a little bit more on the inside. To frame the actual opening behind it for the chicken door as well. All right, so we've gone ahead and traced an opening that we're gonna cut out. Okay, so we've got our rough cut with our circular saw, and it's gonna come in here and open up the corners now. All right, and there is the opening for our feathered friends. Right, so we've got our door placed in the hole. We had to get some hinges from the store, mount some trim along the sides, flush everything up. But it's looking pretty good so far, I think. A little bit of a view from the back side. We're gonna have to put some nailers up, or what you would call door stops. You can see we got a little bit of a gap there. I made the door a bit on the small side so they could open and close freely without binding up. So we'll put our door stops up and maybe some weather stripping so we don't get rain in there. All right, so we finished our door yesterday evening. Now we're gonna get started on our windows, constructing them. I think what we're gonna do is just build the window frame beside it, leave the door as it is, not attached with hinges or trimmed out. We're gonna leave all the trim off. So once we get these windows and doors and everything in place, the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna paint this whole thing. And then we're gonna put our trim on the top of it. I think what we're gonna do is paint everything white, and then we're gonna stain our trim with a natural, like a natural cedar color. That's kind of what we wanna do on our house. We're gonna stain our brick with masonry stain. We're gonna have it white. We're gonna do our porch, all of our wood trim and cedar. So the wife kind of wants everything to match. She wants the chicken coop to kind of match what the house is gonna look like. Our shop's gonna look the same. I kind of want a red barn. Don't tell her yet, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But anyway, let's get started on these windows. Okay, so our window is gonna be 46 by 11.5. We've got our 2 pieces cut at 46. Now we're gonna cut our vertical pieces. So just something to take note of, I'm not trying to insult anyone's intelligence, but if you'll notice the ends of my wood are starting to get a little bit chewed up from the saw blade. It's kind of a sign that my saw blade's getting a little bit dull and needs to be replaced. As you can see, it's getting kind of, you know, furry edges right there. Luckily, we're pretty much done with all our lumber, so that should be it for that blade. All right, so we got one window framed out and a piece of siding screwed on. Let's just hope it fits. Okay, so the framing fit fine, but what happened is, since this sheathing is the exact same size as the cutout, it is the actual cutout, it's making it kind of a snug fit and it won't open freely. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of take roughly 1/8 of an inch off of the siding using the circular saw, and we'll try it again. All right, that worked out much better. As you can see, we got a nice little space there. So when I trim it out, it'll cover that all up. There'll be stops behind it, which will stop, you know, drafts and moisture from getting in. All right, and there's our second window, just perched in place for now. All right, guys, so we just got a little roosting bar set up for them. We've just cut 2 small pieces, 1-foot pieces on with opposing 45s, mount them to the studs, and then put a 2x3 over the top of them. I might actually put like another level, like a lower level, just so they can hop up easier. I may even hang a higher level at some point. I don't know, but for right now, this will be fine. So guys, today's the day we're gonna get started painting our mobile chicken coop. For that, we're just using a basic, inexpensive, flat white exterior grade paint. And we're gonna start going around the edges and trimming everything up. So, I mean, I won't film too much of this. I mean, who hasn't painted before and find it extremely boring and rudimentary? So maybe I'll do a little time lapse, or I'll just speed up a little bit of it. Or maybe just show you just a little bit of it, because it puts me to sleep. I know it's gonna put you to sleep. Alright guys, so we are in the home stretch here, or at least it feels like we are, and not a moment too soon, because these chickens are getting way too big to be in that brooder. So lots of little stuff to do now. You see we're starting to put our stain on here. You can see the difference in color. It's kind of a cedar look. It is a waterproof exterior stain, so I do think it's going to be something that we're going to have to maintain on a regular basis, maybe yearly, I guess. So today I want to try to get all of this stained up, get corner trim on, the door trim on, the window trims, get everything hung, hinges and whatnot. Then from there on out, it's really just little stuff. You know, we got to put the hardware cloth on the eaves and those types of things that we spoke about earlier. I got to put some vinyl inside for the floor. And one really, really cool surprise for the coop that I'll probably tell you guys about in the next video. But I'm super excited about that. All right, so we got our rake board and fascia board stained with the cedar transparent. I like how it looks. Okay, so what I've done here is I have laid out, pre-cut and measured a lot of my trim pieces. Not all of them, but most of them. This way I can just stain them in one shot, get them up. This way I'm not trying to, you know, minutely get stain and those pieces up against the white. It'll just be a lot easier if I stain them ahead of time and then go ahead and nail them or screw them in place. Cedar natural tone. Transparent waterproofing wood finish. Saying 4 years on deck, 6 years fence and siding. I do not expect to get that. But you know, if I have to touch this up every year, that's just fine with me. But I really like the color and how it's coming out. Hinge blocks mounted up. Getting some window trim mounted up. I decided to go a little bit of an architectural detail here and cut them on an angle, just to give it some styling. 2 front corner pieces attached. All right, we just mounted up our last hinge. You guys will be here for the first test. Does it stick? Does it bind? Nope, we're good. All right, nice and smooth. All right, and that's one window hung. All right, guys, so I apologize for flying through this trimming out process of this coop so far, but just to give you an update of what we got going on, we're just nailing up the rest of our trim, staining everything, and trying to get this done as quickly as possible. Mount our hardware up. These chickens are huge. I got to get them out of here. Well, out of there and into here. Really quickly. So again, I apologize for just speeding through this, but the whole process is the same, just repeating it everywhere. Pre-measuring our trim, cutting it, staining it, fastening it. That's the end of it. You can see here on the window trim, I gave a little bit of a lip just so it overlaps and makes a nice seal a weather seal for water to not get in there. When you lift up on it, we've got our stops, which will additionally prevent some water from getting in. I might put flashing on the bottom and another stop here along against the bottom too. We've got a little block mounted there that I'm just going to put a little latch just so that the window will stay closed. So we're getting our nesting box trimmed out now. We got to paint up in there because I think just from it being open and some of the rain and the moisture got kind of gross in there. So I think we'll paint that with like a mold blocking paint or primer or something like that. And then we're going to finish trimming this out, trimming this corner out, and we'll put some type of latch on it. I don't know guys, overall I am really pleased so far. I'm liking the way it looks. Definitely going to paint this trailer black. I think it'll just really set it off nice. It looks kind of goofy being red. All right, so we went and got a nice piece of vinyl flooring put down. Got a wood look, not that matters I guess, but that'll work out nicely for cleaning out. All right, we've got our nesting box door finished now. We put a little latch down here at the bottom. We got to get these cleaned up and filled with bedding, but I'm happy with how that works. Got some suitcase latches for our window here. Still need hardware cloth behind it so no critters can get in. All right guys, I'm giving up on the coop for tonight. I think we're almost just about done. We got a super cool reveal for you guys on the next video, which I'm gonna start filming tomorrow. But for now, we've been eating a little bit of the venison that we harvested. And tonight, we're gonna try it again. We're gonna do the tenderloin. I butterflied them and I'm stuffing them, well, just kind of smearing some, a blend of cream cheese, jalapeno, salt and pepper. Now, people usually do that with the back strap because it's bigger. I tried it with the tenderloin because it's nice and tender and I just want to see how it comes out. So let me give you guys a look at that and turn you around. Hold on. There we go. 2 nice tenderloins, cream cheese and roasted jalapeno filling, wrapped with bacon, and then I sprinkled some of that seasoning I had mentioned in another video. It's called billow dust on top. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these on the grill. Looking good, guys. Looking good. All right guys, I'm gonna finish up these tenderloins here and that's where I'm gonna end the video. Definitely come back and check out the finished product. All right guys, thanks for watching. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for being with me on my journey. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.